some of the best the cloning of Scourge I've ever seen, but still he needs to. I think he wasted a lot of gas on those. He's coming in for a nice plague there from all of his troops. He's going to have to use lots of plagues in this. I think he should have plagued a lot more earlier to keep the troop count down. He is getting a nice dark swarm here, going to be able to pick through all of Fantasy's troops. But yeah, Jaedong still coming in with all of his troops, and Fantasy still fighting with the Radiates. I think he's still working on getting his science vessels up, and Jaedong is trying to expand again, but Fantasy, he just has so many tanks at home. He's playing a completely defensive game, so he can just keep macroing up, keep getting his troops out here. But yeah, look at these tanks right next to the factory too, so he's just been pumping tanks and sieging them as soon as they come up. But yeah, this is absolutely insane. I'm not sure if how either of these guys is going to take this, because Jaedong, yeah, like I said, he went for that ultraless build, so I'm really not sure if he's going to be able to maintain that over the long term here. He's coming up with some more overlords. He might think about doing a drop soon. I think he should probably go for the elimination at this point, at least make Fantasy lift off some of those production buildings. Coming in with even more Dark Swarm there, more Radiates from Fantasy, trying to dodge all the Dark Swarms. This is absolutely insane game from both players. This is really, really high-level StarCraft, and Fantasy is dropping into one of the Jaedong's bases here with the gas. So, wow, I'm not sure if Jaedong's going to be able to fend this off. Jaedong losing even more of his overlords there, and he has one sunken to defend that base, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Wow, I think Fantasy is keeping up production enough to fight off this build, believe it or not, and he's keeping all of his tanks at home for the defense as well. So I think Jaedong might be losing his grip on the game now.
Holy crap, a lot of... Scourge cloning there, but didn't lose as many. Plague goes off on a lot of those Marines. Dark Swarm as well. Marines are going to be forced back. Barely managing to survive. Fantasy just waiting for a shot to take the 9 o'clock base for himself. Does have a dropship coming in. He also stopped the drop coming from Jaedong in the lower left hand by killing all the overlords before they managed to drop their payloads. Did do a lot of damage in the 3 o'clock. Not quite sure if he took it down or not. Can't quite spot the minimap. Real hard to spot positions when one of the players is Teal and the frickin' minerals are Teal. But now Radiate going off for more Ultras, still managed to keep his production up. He did drop on that ridge there to take out the tanks. Several science vessels in the air because he did lose a lot, but he is pumping from 3 starports, so even if he loses some, he still barely managed to keep those alive. Nidus Canal's coming up in the 9 o'clock position, does have the natural expansion, Ultralisks and Dark Swarms, all ready to defend against there. Problem I'm having with this Fantasy, he's playing aggressive with his dropships, but I feel he needs to be even more aggressive. Not going to possibly lose the command center. He's probably going to float it up to make sure he doesn't lose the command center at 9 o'clock. We're going to see whether another queen comes into play. Float it up before... Oh, man, Fantasy's going to possibly lose the command center unless he decides to float it up, which he is not going to do because he's having too much stuff to pay attention to. And now he's unsieging his tanks, so we're going to see what he's going to do for here. He's like unsieged every single one of these tanks at the same time. Now, okay, time for business. Time for some business. Time to go and crush this frickin' Zerg kid who took my OSL win. Scans the middle, scans the positioning, knows that he's safe enough. Jaedong just doesn't have much in the field. Now he's actually pushing out V Protoss style. Science vessels up front, taking out Defilers. Could actually lose the science vessel. Doesn't lose that science vessel, but I'm pushing out with science vessel, medic marines, tanks, all ready to take out every single force that Jaedong has on the ground. Just push into those sunken colonies, take those out with the tanks. That's going to be it. Actually has a drop at the 3 o'clock position, takes that out. Cleans up another mining base of Jaedong's. Now Jaedong in a bad position, not going to be able to keep up this production, as Nuke has said, just doesn't have much. There's a bunch of idle drones sitting there waiting for a chance to mine something, but not being allowed to. And Fantasy going to possibly clean up this entire 9 o'clock, both of those bases, has those tanks in the middle, fighting for position to go. He might actually go for that 9 o'clock position, bunch of ultras to defend, but he might actually still have enough to take that out. It's all going to come down to that. This insane game. Fantasy is going to move. There are a bunch of... a lot of science vessels go down. He did manage to radiate something. I think he radiated the Defiler, possibly some ultralists. He's going to start sieging that position. The Dark Swarms are not going to become a factor with those forces still as a crap, taking down the entire 3 o'clock. So if he manages to push at the 9 o'clock, Jaedong's just not going to have enough to do much of anything, and this could be the game winner right here. Fantasy with a crap load of everything everywhere, and Jaedong with almost nothing to defend. He could go for a little bit of a pincer. Does some forces coming from the right side. Does consume more forces, but this could be the killer blow here from Fantasy as the Ultralisks run out. Oh man, the Marines and tanks all gonna take all those forces down, and this is most likely gonna be it. Dark Swarm's not gonna help out here.
Wow. Yeah, it was absolutely insane. I think Fantasy was out of minerals when he made this attack. Talk about the art of turtling. He just turtled until he ran out of minerals, I think, and then he decided, okay, I gotta do this. So he's pushing into Jaedong's final remaining bases, and I'm sure that Jaedong is out of minerals at this point. Oh man, since Jaedong went for such a heavy macro build, it means he drained all of his bases, and Fantasy doesn't have any production, so he has his force on the ground, and that's all he has. So if Jaedong does manage to somehow fend this off, if he has a Defiler hidden somewhere, he's going to be able to take this. But wow, easily one of the best Terran versus Zerg matches of the year. Oh man, Fantasy's coming up here. He might actually try to, yeah, he's going to irradiate all of the Defilers as they come out of the hatcheries. GG from Jaedong.
GG!
Whoa, that was an epic win from Fantasy. I've never seen anything like that. There were several points during the game when Fantasy definitely had the game lost. He was going to lose the game, but he decided to rough it out, keep all of his tanks at home. You can tell he's happy about that. That is probably the best win of his career, easily. So yeah, it's a great first set, and even though Oz didn't win, I think they're going to take the other sets. Go Oz!
Yeah, keep dreaming, keep dreaming. I'm gonna, SK Telecom 1's gonna, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, SK Telecom 1 gonna sellotape a brick to their foot and smash it into Oz's face, and then they're gonna have to go to the dentist and such. And now Fantasy gonna put down the glasses, gonna get the freaking spray gun and gonna spray all over the crowd. Love the freaking victory ceremonies. I thought they'd ban those, but apparently not. It's gonna go out and spray some stuff in the water. We're gonna see whether any one of the players, as they win, are gonna take all their clothes off and take a dip, as we once saw Firebat Hero do. But yeah, there you go, pumping right at the cameras, boy.
Yeah, gotta love awkward ceremonies. Look at those glasses. I want those. Honestly, I want those. I don't want that Super Soaker, though, because it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, I've had some Super Soakers that don't work, so don't feel too bad, Fantasy. Not the epic Firebat Hero type ceremony, but you tried. Yep, we're going to move on to the second set.
Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, Oz. Getting it together. Okay, Jaedong lost. Now what the hell are we going to do?
Well, the lighthouse exploded, so I wonder how we're going to pull into port.